Okay, now I'm calling Shane Owens. Hello, Shane.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Good. Welcome. How have you been?
We have been filling up the calendar, looking forward to 2022 and what it holds for us. We all went through a bad time last year, had to cancel a lot of dates, and our new single's doing well. So we're looking forward to getting back out on the road. Going to leave tomorrow morning, headed back to Nashville. Going to be doing a lot of TV stuff and interviews, and just getting ready to get back out there on the road.
Awesome. Now tell us about your new single.
It's called Music Man. We're in the top 40 on Music Row with it. We're excited about it. Anybody that's ever tried to pursue this as a living, or anybody that's ever been a fan of music or played music or anything, really can relate to this song. It pretty much explains my career in a nutshell because of what I do for a living. But we've been so blessed to have another single out on the radio, and like I say, we're just getting ready to get back out there and get after it.
Now, Shane, for those of us, for the people in the audience that don't really know about your background, can you walk us through a little bit about your own personal journey?
Well, early on, I loved football and baseball, and then my grandmother was one of my biggest influences in church. She played the piano in church, so I grew up in a musically talented family. I've always been a big fan of traditional country music. We were honored to work with Mr. Randy Travis. He produced some of my stuff. Some of my biggest songs we had that went top 40, Randy was a part of that. So to be able to share a relationship with somebody like that, that's a country music Hall of Famer, to grow up idolizing what he's done and to have him appreciate what I've done, him and so many others like John Anderson and so many others in the industry we've got to work with. We've played the Grand Ole Opry twice. Look forward to doing that again soon. And, if you love traditional country music, we're doing all we can to keep that going. And there's a lot of people out there that love traditional country music and millions of traditional country music fans across the United States. So that's our fan base and what we try to target.
Well, I grew up loving country because I only had an AM radio in my Pontiac Ventura. And the only station I could get that played country, was on that dial. And so, Alabama, I got a chance to go to the Alabama 25th anniversary concert. We're talking way back when, right? But I always loved it. And, I always think of Waylon and Willie. And, I love country because country, it just talks to the people. It just talks about everyday things. And for the most part, you can actually understand the lyrics. So that's why I personally became such a big country music fan. The other thing I love about country is maybe unlike other genres, it's not very competitive. It's more collaborative, and people want to see others do good. If you come up with a great lick, then somebody, no matter what level of fame, they're like, wow, that's really good. They have an appreciation for the art of it.
I think, no matter what genre you love the most, country music is as real as it gets. We write our songs about stuff that happens in daily life, things that are real. And I think we live in a time where people know where music's real or it's not. You can't fake them out. But when you hear Shane Owens' record, you're going to hear influences like Keith Whitley and George Strait and George Jones and Haggard, Vern God. So many of those guys I grew up just idolizing. And there's, like I said a while ago, there's millions of fans out there that love that sound. And we're just fortunate and very blessed to be doing what we love to do.
When you pick up your guitar, do you still run through different frets and things like that? Or do you play songs mostly? Or do you do exercises? Because you need to kind of keep everything fresh, whether it's your voice or your fingers.
Exactly. I find I've got 2 or 3 guitars here at home. Well, I sold a couple. I've got one I really admire, which is an Alvarez. But I find myself picking it up all the time, even if I'm watching something on TV. I'm a big fan of gospel music as well. So if I'm watching a Gaithers play or country music videos or something, I'll kind of play along. But then I get in here and kind of keep from getting so much, because last year we all had to pretty much shut down, and it's one of those things. It's kind of like going to the gym. If you don't go every day, you lose what you've built. So you've got to keep I've got to keep my vocals in shape, my playing, fingers and my mind sharp when you take off, as long as we had to take off last year. I think it affected everybody. So it's something it's a constant grind, but we're, music is a blessing. It's I tell everybody I've been able to experience it so long. It's not even like work. It's just a joy. It's a blessing, and that's the way we need to treat it.
And right near the Grand Ole Opry is the Gaylord Hotel. And every year at the holidays, they just decorate it so beautifully. I hope you got a chance to at least go down and maybe check some of that out this year.
We did, and every year, it was like I said, this past year was a little slower. But if you've never been to the Grand Ole Opry this time of year out by Gaylord Center, you're exactly right. It's the most beautiful sight you'll ever see. You cannot pass through Nashville, Tennessee without stopping and seeing that. And if that don't get you into Christmas and spirit, I don't know what will.
And do you have a favorite memorabilia, like an old ticket stub or anything for you personally that you hold on to and that you cherish? Any good luck charms?
Well, I've got an old pocket knife my granddaddy gave me back when I was a baby. I always cherished a boy rather, a young boy, and I always treasure things like that. But like I said earlier, just being able to play music through everything we've been through and come out of the COVID period, and everybody, just have hope for what tomorrow brings for everybody in 2022. I think one thing I tell everybody is we just got to love each other more, have respect for more respect for each other as a nation. And I think 2022 is going to be a lot better place.
Absolutely. And coming from you, Music Man, that means a lot. So best of luck to you always, Shane Owens. And I really do appreciate you stopping by today.
I appreciate you and what all you do for artists like me, because without people like you, we couldn't do what we do. So I owe you a great debt of gratitude, and I certainly have enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely day.
You too.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.